2 minutes gone past 5. Good afternoon. Thank you for staying tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. I'm yours truly, Kala Dakurubat. But remember to follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. Nigeria Info PH is the handle for all three platforms. You can as well follow me on social media, Dekalada, THEKLLADA. So I've got a very interesting conversation I'd like to bring your way right now. But I just can't help but, go back to the 4 o'clock hour conversation and just let out a good laugh, have a good laugh. What am I talking about? I tried to ask my guests different questions, but it all ended in constituency 1 in HA local government area being marginalized. No matter what I tried. Anyways, the current conversation I want to have, if you notice, I have been focused on... All right, so I'm sorry, I had to say a word or two to the tech personnel. But yeah, I want to focus on the local government elections, or should I say local government administration, because I'm of the opinion, and I'm hoping I'm right. I'm of the opinion that if we can get it right at the local government level, then we can get it right eventually in Nigeria. And the local government has become an appendage for many years, an appendage of the state government. You see people who are local government chairmen who are supposed to be loyal to the people in their local government, in their constituencies, in their wards, rather being loyal to state governors. And I'm not just saying it it is a Rivers thing. It's something that happens across Nigeria. And it's no wonder. For those of you who've been following my conversations on radio, even before I joined Hard Facts, while I was on the other show, I would usually call it Which Way Nigeria. For those of you who listen, you know what I'm talking about. While I was on that show, I would always talk about independence for the judiciary. For the local government. Yeah, I talked for the judiciary too, but most especially for the local government. I said the local government, as we know, is closest to the people, and if we could get direct development from the local government administrators, then the people will be better off. And poverty, hunger will no longer be tools in the hands of politicians at the state and federal levels. And it's no wonder, much was said when the Supreme Court gave the verdict as to the independence, independence of the local governments. But we've seen the fight back. For instance, in Bios State, 20 million naira was set to be the ticket money. Is it ticket money they call it? But you know what I'm talking about. If you want to be chairman, I think you pay something close to the amount of, if not 20 million. In Kano State, a court had to come in and say, see, reduce the price from 10 million naira, or don't make it 10 million naira. It's too expensive. Because when I think of it, such amounts would make it almost impossible for true people, true local government administrators to go into that office. But that's not my focus. I've come across the timeline for local government election process in Rivers State. Right about now, I hear that campaign is on, even though some people in Rivers State are saying they don't know the candidates for their local governments. Campaign is on right now. RSIEC is also doing certain screenings Today's date is what now? Today is the 13th of September. So RSIEC is training ad hoc staff. Yesterday was the last day to withdraw the candidature of any candidate. On Wednesday was the extension of time for nomination in case of uncontested election for chairmanship, and on Wednesday still was the substitution of candidates and screening of chairmanship candidates not nominated at the first instance. So processes are ongoing. On Monday, I heard it's a public holiday. I'm not certain. It's supposed to be, I guess. But on the timeline for the election, publication of notice of date and time of poll, full names and address of the candidate's location of polling station or unit, and display of voters register at every unit. All right. Okay. So the process is on. However, I'm thinking that RSIEC can do more. So let's go to Kano State. In Kano State, remember we talked about it this week as part of our big stories where they did drug testing, and about 20, if not more than 20 candidates for the local government election were said to be drug abusers. They were abusing illegal drugs. They were users of illegal drugs. And according to the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission, that would be a criteria to qualification or disqualification of the candidates for that election. Looking at the Punch before me right now, they have come out with another qualification, which is that candidates must undergo psychiatric tests, psychological evaluation. And I'm reading now. The Kano State Independent Electoral Commission has announced that all candidates contesting the local government election in Kano State must undergo a psychiatric test before participating in the October 26 polls. The RSIEC chairman, Sani Malum Fashi, made the disclosure while addressing a news conference in Kano today. Now, I'm quoting him as seen on the Punch newspaper. It says, as you know, we have conducted drug tests for the aspirants contesting for chairmanship and councillorship. So we shall invite psychiatric doctors to conduct psychiatric tests on all the candidates. Now, I do not know to what effect or what impact that would have, but I'm thinking, is it something we can borrow here in Rivers State? Because like when I started, I said that we need local government administrators that can really impact the people at the grassroots level. So what stringent measures or processes or measures can we put as screening for these politicians who are interested in local government administration? I mean, it should be beyond putting exorbitant amounts as, nomination forms money or ticket money, whatever it's called. It should be more than that, right? It should be more than that. So that's the question. That's the conversation today. What can RSIEC do? Kano State is doing psychological evaluation. Go and have a psychiatric test. Let's be sure that you are mentally stable for that office, and I feel that's a good one. But in Rivers State, given the political divide, given the level of psychophancy, I'm not saying anybody's a psychophant, but given the level of psychophancy that we see in our politicking, what really can RSIEC do to ensure that it has done? I mean, INEC usually, when it comes to state and federal elections, would check whether your documents are correct, whether you have any security issue. I mean, they would liaise with security agencies to have all of that done. What can we do at the local government level to ensure that the best hands, I mean, so that we get to select from good people, usually, what we do when we go to polling units is select from, bad eggs. I'm not saying anybody is a bad egg. Usually the phrase would be choosing between the devil and the deep blue sea, right? That's what we always say. So how do we ensure that we have more good people standing in for the election? And this is a very pertinent conversation, because once again, if we get it right, I tell you, have you not noticed that all the people fighting politically in River State have now soft-pedaled, and all their concentration now is on the local government election? Some are trying to stop it. Some are trying to ensure that they put their structure at the local government level. Basically, the local government is very important, very vital, very significant. So how can we benefit from it as the people of River State? Is it not by RSIEC ensuring that the right people, first of all, are screened and allowed to participate in that election? I don't know. What are your thoughts? I think I've talked for too long. I go for a quick commercial. When I do come back, I get your thoughts on this very one. Thank you.
The show continues after
The headlines: RSIEC to publish names of candidates ahead of local government elections. Some Rivers residents unfamiliar with candidates few weeks to local government polls. Taxi driver urges police leadership to tackle extortion of motorists by officers conducting stop and search. Environmentalist calls for food preparedness or flood preparedness in River State. Federal government warns Niger Delta states to prepare for possible floods. On the foreign scene, WHO approves first Mpox vaccine. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215.
We take off with the biggest conversations with an exchange of opinions and ideas on the Morning Crossfire. Settle you into your day when we say hello, Port Harcourt.
Take you on a ride to the sunny side of life.
Hover a bit while picking at the details on hard facts. Take a detour through the exciting world of sports.
And get back on track with Let's Talk.
Land you safely as we chit-chat into the morning on Chat Station. And then do it all over again on your number one talk, news and sports radio station, 92.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Hard Facts.
All right, welcome. 28 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's get your thoughts on what we're talking about. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. I'm looking at what stringent measures, what vital measures, what should be some of the criteria put by RSIEC to ensure that people who candidates from the different political parties for the LG elections in the state. Right now, we're still expecting the election will hold on the 5th of October. What are some of these things that should be or should serve as screening for these candidates? You know, in Kano State, like I already mentioned, they are looking at a psychological evaluation. Go for a psychiatric test. The Kano State Independent Electoral Commission is saying, and they have also done a drug test. And I told you a few days ago that about 20 candidates failed the drug test. So let's get your thoughts. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0003. Now, this message says, please use autonomy instead of independence. I mean, what is the difference? Can you explain? When you're autonomous, it means you're independent of any kind of leadership, right? So maybe you're just used to the word in autonomy, I beg your pardon. Just like the states are independent of the federal government. You know, we're talking about independence of the local government when we talk governance in each state. But let's go to the phone lines now. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. I'm very much particular about local government elections. Hopefully we will get it right. We say we want the people to take over the structure of governance. For that to happen, we would have to start from the grassroots level. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Canada, first, let me state this. I don't believe that the local government election will hold in the first place.
Oh, why don't you believe that?
Because there's a legal document, or what we call it, a case, a suit challenging the conduct of that exercise.
Okay.
So that's first. Going forward, RSIEC is to hold an election in October, and the date, names of those that will contest in that exercise have not been published. Campaigns have not started, and you are holding an election few weeks from now. What does the RSIEC guidelines say? So I think that RSIEC on their own part are not serious, and what will go on will just be an academic exercise. Now, you are talking about doing psychological screening. I think that's also a good way to select quality representatives, because some of the leaders that we have that are going there to represent us do not have sound mind. Like you said in Kano State, look at out of 20, he said 20 are addicts. So I think that if they can actually do this genuinely, we can actually screen out those bad eggs and get people that will have straight mindset to lead the people. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much. Let's listen to Hector from Ogbogoro. Hector, welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Good evening, Chief K.
Yeah.
I think this criteria is commendable. Maybe we can start with it so that we can get it right at the local government level. We have seen here or heard of where drug addicts have become governors in this country. Alcoholic people have become governors in this country, even become National Assembly members, senators, state assembly members. And we've seen how far it has been broke out in the Senate and House of Reps. So psychiatric test, drug test, I think is commendable. It's a good recommendation.
So do you think it should be done
before the general election? There was also a call for that, but that we did not see it happen. But I wish that River State can replicate this, so that the people that are aspiring to become local government chairmen, we can have people whose heads are cool, taking over the local government system in River State. And for the campaign, I'm aware that campaign have started in some local governments, including my local government.
All right, I've got to go.
Aspirants, we've known them. So I don't know for some local government.
All right.
We have their timetable, and I've said it will soon be published any moment from now.
All right, then.
Our candidates.
All right, Hector, thank you. I've got Ken from Ubumini. Ken, welcome.
Good afternoon, Kalada, once more.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ken.
I think for me, the calendar in which some activities should have gone on during their election time is not being engaged properly. Because when we are talking about screening and other activities relating to the qualification of a candidate, I think the time has come and gone. It's barely 3 weeks now or thereabouts. By your question, I think the person should be screened coming down to their home or to the person's home to know the person's antecedents before we talk about his mental fitness and his blood group. I don't know if you're getting me.
I'm listening.
So that we should have the right thinking people and the right acting people, those who have the mentality of engaging or encountering with people. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your thoughts there. Keep your calls coming in, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. What are some of the criteria you think RSIEC should put in place? I mean, it's time we begin setting agenda, so to say. It's for the sake of the people. Don't you agree? Alozie from Omuma, welcome.
Good evening, man of the people.
Yeah, Alozie, welcome.
Man of the people, from my old calendar here, we have 21 days to 5th of October. And if you ask me, some persons are making arguments that you don't need to know your candidate. Go to the political party the candidate is coming from to go and ask the political party. And I keep on making arguments with those persons who are saying this, that is candidate ruling a political party or the total people who are in the local government or the state. Kalada, if you ask me, the election coming on the 5th of October, I am not seeing the readiness from the RSIEC. Like what you cited, 20 out of how many failed drug tests? What is the yardstick that our own RSIEC has, put out for us to know the things they put in cognizance in selecting these candidates? Has them been profiled by the DSS? The psychiatric test you mentioned, has that process been taken in Rivers State? The answer is no. So what is the thing that I should hold on to say that these are the things that RSIEC is doing? I'm nominating them from here, they submit from here, do the academic exercise or what? I'm not, the process for me is not going well with me.
All right.
All
right, RSIEC King, thank you. I've got Robin from HA. Robin, welcome. And after Robin, I've got Patrick from LMA. Robin, welcome.
Yeah, Canada, my brother, man of the people.
Yeah.
I think the issue about drug test or whatever, I describe it as much ado about nothing.
Interesting.
Canada, before we are discussing the issue of local government election in Rivers State, in particular, there was a general election. Last year, they brought in the president of the country. There were candidates fielded in other parties to running for the presidency of this country. We're talking about drug test. How about the senators, the House of Reps? Governors came in afterwards. Were we talking about drug test? I don't know how we find ourselves in this situation. He who throws a pebble shall have a rock in return. They have made this country to look as if there are no human beings. You see, Canada, most time when I talk, I say we're conquered people, you seem not to agree with me. But this is time you go back home and think how we have been down to this level. Where some persons feel they can control all the rest of us. Somebody will want to tell me how many lumps of meat my wife will put for me in a soup. But they will fail. No drug test. If we want to start off test, we'll start from the president. 227 when we are holding election.
All right then. But Robin, don't you think that before we get to 2027, we should be thinking of how to get the local government elections right? Patrick from LMA, welcome. What is on your mind?
Man of the people, good evening.
Yeah, greetings to you. Welcome.
Yeah, if you ask me, I think henceforth, anybody that is running or vying for any elective position, whether in Rivers State or anywhere around Nigeria, should be subjected to undergo drug test.
Okay.
In a sense that most of these our so-called leaders, I beg to use that word, are drug addicts.
That's an allegation. That's an allegation. Patrick.
The lack character.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Of leadership character.
I'll have to let you go. We don't make blanket statements here on radio. You should be able to have a conversation with me. It's not a one-sided talk. But I've got to step on the brakes for now. There is a paid program coming your way. After that, the major news at 6. And after that, you and I will continue our conversations. Please just stay tuned.